Well, hello, mi amores. Welcome to Tea Time with Tia Gloria. This week, I'm having a fabulous guest for you because we're going to talk to royalty. He's our first touch, Mr. Letter Vallarta, the one and only beautiful man. Daddy Keith's going to be with us. Oh, we're going to talk about his title, his life, the IML who's coming, and what he wants to do also with the community. But stay tuned. We're going to have a wonderful tea time with Tia Gloria. So grab a drink and we'll be with you.
On air from Stud Studios. It's tea time with Tia Gloria. She's bold, she's loud, she's a queen, she's a diva, but she's your Tia now. Tea time with Tia Gloria. Make yourself comfy, make yourself a drink. Tea time with Tia Gloria. Water's boiling, the tea is ready. Tea time with Tia Gloria.
Hola, mi amor. Welcome to Tea Time with Tia Gloria. This week, I have the honor to receive royalty from here to Puerto Vallarta, our grand winner, Studs Mr. Leather 2025, Daddy Keith. Thank you to being here with us.
It's a pleasure. I'm glad to come.
Look at you, all in leather, in that heat. That's Vietnam, mi amor. That's what we call doing it.
It's dedication.
Dedication, that's the word I was looking. Thank you to answer yes to my invitation.
Absolutely a pleasure to come.
We talked about it to do that little segment, and I was so proud to have you. And it's fun because we talk, but we don't know that much of each other.
No.
And I know that everyone in Vallarta knows Daddy Keith because you're walking with your sash everywhere and represent studs and the leather community everywhere. But let's just ask you, who are you?
Who am I?
Who are you? Where this gentleman all in leather just came from?
Well, I came from Washington State originally. Grew up in a town called Gig Harbor. Give a little plug for the hometown. But I've been in Vallarta for about a year and a half now, and moved down after retiring, and love it here.
That's good. And I know we don't say that to Daddy, but how old are you, baby?
I'm almost old enough to get Social Security.
Oh, that's good. So I'm older than you. Well, I'm the Jurassic Queen, baby. That's what they say. I don't say I'm old. I'm vintage.
Yes.
That's how we do.
Yes.
So, baby, what makes you just get in the leather community? Well, how long are you in the leather community?
Well, I've been in the LGBT community for about 40 years,
Okay.
and got involved in the leather community about 30 years ago.
Okay.
Started with I bought a used harness from some leather guys in San Diego.
Let me just put
Yeah,
you
this
good.
is kind of slipping around.
That's good. That's good. We love slippery stuff.
Yeah, so started getting involved in the community there, and there was Wolf's was the name of the leather bar in San Diego at the time, and that would be kind of my Friday night hangout there.
Nice. And how did you blend in this community? Because we can say that in these days it was more the old guard leather community. It was the after AIDS,
It was in the middle of the AIDS crisis, yeah, and that was always a challenge. I was involved in ACT UP as an activist there, working with them, and also with Queer Nation doing visibility actions mostly. It's we're here, we're queer, get used to it. There are a lot of us here, and we need to stand up for ourselves. The leather part was kind of my, I guess, recreation of that. I have always been a little aggressive sexually.
Okay. Okay. Let me re-ask the question so like that you can. So it must be hard, it's like being in the middle of the AIDS crisis, and I know that the Letterman was the first one was seen because they were advocate for the AIDS crisis. How did you manage that?
Well, it was obviously a a challenging time. You know, I have a lot of friends that should be here now that didn't make it through that. But I was involved in ACT UP and also in Queer Nation. I was one of the co-founders of the San Diego chapter of Queer Nation, and we did a lot of different protest actions and visibility actions, mostly just to say, hey, we're here, you know, and not to be so quiet and discreet with that. But ACT UP, in particular, we had a needle exchange program that we did, and we did some advocacy for the people with AIDS, particularly in front of the city and council or county governments with that. So there was a lot of work that we did.
And when did the letter Awakening was done?
That was
in a new car?
Yeah. The new car smell here.
Yes.
No, that was in the early 90s
Okay.
in San Diego. And I had bought my first harness. It was used harness from a couple of Leathermen in there. And this gear will last forever if you take care of it. And so, you know, it very often gets passed down. And that was, I think, my first introduction to just the gear. And I used to go to a bar called Wolf's, which was the leather bar in San Diego at the time. And it was kind of my Friday night hangout. I did country night first, and then I would go to leather.
It goes together.
Yes.
It goes
yeah,
together.
Just a little different. Change the hat, change the boots. But
the chap stays.
The chap stayed on either one. Yeah, part of it was I had always been kind of aggressive sexually, but just socialized that everything has to be egalitarian and polite and things. And getting involved in the leather community, I learned that different people have different roles and different expectations and things that they like. And I didn't have to hold back on who I was in that community, because there were people that liked being on the other side of that. And so started working, getting involved in that community.
Was it hard in those days to be, I would say, putting your fetish up front on the street?
Not so much. I lived in San Diego in the Hillcrest neighborhood, so
more easy.
Yeah, it was a very strong community there, and you know, staying in Hillcrest, North Park, Mission Hills area, and it was very easy to be out and open. The community there has been politically strong for decades, and they've had a number of LGBT city council members. I believe their current mayor is a gay man.
Nice,
if I remember correctly. And so the community has always been very strong presence there.
And you told me that we know that now you're retired from your job.
Yes.
But still working. What makes you made the jump for Vallarta from Mexico?
It was kind of a quick decision. I've been here.
Tell me it was a Latino boy.
Well, I'm
all
still
doing it.
looking for the Latino boy. So,
Okay, so if
yeah.
you are a free bottom Latino boy, please send a DM to Daddy Keith. He will take all the message.
All the messages, yes. No, I had visited here a couple of times, and I had been living up in Washington State, and circumstances with my job and the house that I had were just such that it was just time, and it's time to retire, and so I sold the house and moved down here, bought a condo, and I love it. I love the community here. I love the availability. You know, I have a house on the far end of the Zona Romantica, and it's a 10-minute walk anywhere here. And you know, there's so many different community establishments that I can come to.
A lot of people that are just visiting here, they don't know that we have a solid community here, and not only fetish and not only gay, you know, the resident and the Mexican all around.
Yes.
And a lot of people are saying like, oh no, they should be like, they hate the gays because it's gentrification and all that. that's another subject, but I think the communities here, like when you're living here, you go to the bakery, they recognize you and they love because we are not just because we are bringing, we are part of this. We don't want to change the thing. We want to
Right.
be part of it. And that's make a big difference than the fucking sorry Karen that comes here to try to do their law. Stay home, amor. Stay home.
Yeah. People that come down from Canada and the United States and think that it's going to be like it is in Toronto
Totally.
or Ogden or something like that. It's just that's not the case. Mexico is
not.
its own place, and embrace it for what it is.
And that's the fun part.
It is. It is. I walk through the Zona Romantica several times a week in my full leather gear with the sash and everything, and nobody Mexican cares. There are some of the tourists that are visiting that sometimes will give me a little side eye, but there's
Maybe I have that too.
Yeah.
Imagine.
yeah.
Like a 7-foot queen. They're like looking, what the fush?
But there is a abuela lives near me that I'm sure she's in her 80s, and I walk by and she just has a big smile every time
Yes.
she sees me, and they're very welcoming. And I think they get a title sash
See.
that
Yeah.
is something that maybe people from the United States are not going to be so familiar with.
Well, they all have that here under quinceanera, you
Yes,
know? They have the
yes.
silk one, and it's like, the sash is everywhere in the Mexican culture, so this is all good. But also, it's like, you can see that here at Pride, too. When you are in the parade, all the abuelas, the older, and everyone is welcoming. And that's sad sometimes to see that it's the tourists that are giving the eyes, and everyone else is like, hey, as long as you're happy, we're happy with
Right.
you.
Right.
It's like, but it's notoriety also. It's like, oh, this is a winner. You know?
I do get stopped for pictures, sometimes in the bars or sometimes on the streets, and
How do you handle that?
I let them take the picture. It's fun.
You love it?
So, yeah.
Would you think that you would have all this attention when you compete at Leather Fever last year?
Not outside of the community.
Okay.
I figured in the bars and things that would be the case, but just walking down the road, if I'm dressed like this, people will stop and everyone says congratulations, and I don't even know if a lot of them know what it's for.
Hey,
but
as
I'm like,
long
hey,
as they
thank you.
recognize
Right?
it.
Yeah, it's great.
So last year you were a winner from the Leather Fever weekend. If you don't know what's the Leather Fever weekend, it's our fetish weekend here in Puerto Vallarta. Last year was our first year. We did history. You're part of history because you're the first.
The inaugural title holder. Yes.
Yes, the first Mr. Leather Vallarta 2025. And we have also Mr. Cake Vallarta, that is Mochila, that is the first winner also. And this year, I'm giving you a scoop. If you're watching this, we're going to have also Pop Vallarta. We're adding a title, Pop Vallarta, to this. But Dime, when this was arriving to your ears, were you sure you wanted to do that competition, or you just said, let's give it a try?
My first instinct was to support this. I ran a leather social up in Washington State for about 3 years, and was involved in Seattle Men in Leather organization up there.
You say hi to
Hey,
everyone. Hi,
everyone.
guys.
And
You lost him. I have him now. It's mine.
I've got the title now. So
Yeah.
um,
Like Cher would say, follow that, you bitches.
I want to support the community. That's really my first impulse with
Mhm.
this.
See?
And so, I was reaching out and wanting to find out, how can I help with this? And so asking around, I understood that you had a need for some judges potentially,
Yeah.
and also some contestants. And I talked around a little bit, and I was a little concerned about, I'm an older guy from the United States.
I remember this
Yeah.
first message you
Yeah.
sent me. It's like, is it okay? Is everything good? I said, yeah, please do come in.
Yeah.
Do come in. We welcome everyone.
And I live here. This is my home. So
See?
I thought I will go ahead and jump in because I wanted to be sure that the event was successful. And I mean, that's someone told me that's kind of a Miss America answer, but
Well, you're Miss Vallarta.
yeah, it really is the case. I wanted to be sure that this event went well, and so that in the future we can use this to help
See?
build up the community.
Totally, and that's proving that how you love that community. It's like just going there and like make sure that the event is. And was your experience? You know, you did all those shows to us. I remember you were sitting on a chair with a cigar, having your puppies all
Pups.
around.
That was
Sorry,
fun.
it's like rated
Yeah.
PG.
It was fun. The biggest issue was at the very beginning because I wanted to wear all of my gear, and I had about 8 pounds or 8 kilos, about 15 pounds of leather gear on it, a hat and a leather motorcycle jacket, and it was getting, I don't know, 34 degrees, something
It
like
was
that. It
hot
was
that
very
weekend.
hot.
Believe me, I was wearing this and I was sweating. I cannot imagine you.
And everything was going on, and we had the introductions and the go-go's and everything going on to begin with, and I'm just like, introduce me so I can take this clothes off, It was very hot, but it was fun. It was over 2 days with that, and so it was kind of a lot that we had to do. The pup scene that you just mentioned was, we had to do our fantasy leather scene, and didn't have a lot of advance warning about that. So I thought, what can I do that doesn't require
You
like
did it
any
well.
any
People were
lines?
talking
Yeah.
about it.
So I had them put a chair on the stage and got a cigar and sat down and just kind of tried to look like the tough leather guy. And 3 pup friends of mine came up onto the stage and all started like mobbing me, and it was fun. So, and I just smoked the cigar for 4 minutes, and
It was amazing.
yeah,
People
it
love
was
that
fun.
scene.
It was fun.
People love that scene because also you included the puppy community
Yes.
also in it. But it's also like sometimes people think that a fantasy needs to be something big or costing a lot of money to do
No.
that scene and all that. And see, you were in a jock on a chair with boots and with puppies smoking a cigar. That was amazing.
It was a fun time.
That was amazing. What does the kink bring to you also?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, this is kind of my just core being. I tend to be very directive and like to be in charge. And being in the leather community gives me an outlet for that.
Nice.
That I've had dom sub relationships before, and wouldn't mind having another one. But it just allows me to really be my true self.
That's amazing.
Yeah, my fetish interests, aside from just being in control, I like impact play. I like electro play. I have a neon wand that can be a lot of fun to play with.
Yes. I hate that.
Yeah.
To be shocked, oh my God. I'm a bitch, but I became a bigger bitch on this.
Just turn it down. And one of the things I like is it has an attachment, and I can put it up against my skin.
I know.
And then I can just run my hand over you, and it's just a little buzz, and that can be very nice and very sensual.
You know, this mama is a little dumb too. You know what was my favorite thing with this?
What's that?
The little plate. You put it on the table. You put your sub on the table. You put all the fruits, chocolate, whipped cream, and with the fork, it gets the conduction of the wine.
Oh, yes.
So it's like, oh my God, we had so much fun, but that's for another episode. Baby, what's the pros and cons to win that title for you?
The pros, I think, partly just the recognition in the community. That's great. It's a lot of fun, and I've been doing work in the leather community for years, and this sash amplifies my voice, and it makes it a little easier for me to do what I have been wanting to do anyway, trying to build up the community here, working on leather social events, and just getting people in the leather and kink community in Vallarta so we know each other, because we kind of have the separation. Um, the cons are, I mean, the worst is, you know, wearing the
The heat.
gear in the heat, you know. This is not New York or San Francisco when, you know, we have more moderate temperatures, and you can go out in your full gear.
Even
Without
tonight, I'm really happy that you're doing this. It's like you're in full gear. We're outside on my beautiful terrace, but it's hot
It's a
these
little
days.
schwitzy here.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
hot for Vallarta these days, and even with this moo and I'm hot. So I can imagine. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
It is a time commitment,
Yeah.
and I mean, if you really want to uh, represent the community, it is, and there are the out and about mixers
Yes.
that they have every week,
Every
and
Tuesday.
I try to go to those as much as I can because I want to represent you know, the community here. And I have a leather social that I run, and then I come here for fetish nights on Thursdays.
Yeah,
and
because you're a stud title
I'm
holder.
a stud title holder.
You're the studs title holder, but studs is wider. It's like it's bringing also in the leather community. So yes, you're a representative, but you're also the rep for the leather community.
Right.
That it's a small one here because you know in. Tell me if I'm wrong, but in this community, a lot of people. Well, first of all, with the heat, they don't have leather.
Right.
Because leather here, you need to be like super sharp on your leather because mold, oh my God, it goes like crazy. But also, a lot of people are scared to say, I'm a leatherman.
Right.
I have a kink on leather. I love it. And it's so funny because I talk with guys that are super macho cowboys. They have the chaps, they have the little vest, and they're sniffing their vest all the time. So it smells good. I said, you're into leather.
Right.
He says, no, 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 I'm not into the. Come on.
Right.
But it's okay. We let them go. We love those cowboys. Hola, I will take the DMs for the cowboys. So, but also, this community is like growing, and we have a lot of tourists also. When you're giving the workshop and all that, you have tourists, you have locals that are coming. How do you deal with that?
Well, the tourists that come in often don't have any gear when they come down here. Or They
Totally.
have very minimal because you know, when it's 85 degrees and 85% humidity, it's not something that they usually want to do.
And it weighs a lot in the
It
luggage.
weighs a lot in the luggage, and you know, most people are here because they want to have a margarita and go to the beach, and you know,
In a
and that's
jock
it.
at Studs on a Friday
Yes,
night.
yes, exactly. Although just this last Thursday, we had a number of people from Chicago that were here, and
Nice,
including some
yes.
people from the Chicago chapter of Bluff, which is the Breachers Leather and Uniform fan club. And they were out on the balcony smoking cigars in full leather
We
all
love
night.
that.
Yes, it was nice, and it was one of the few times I've seen anybody other than myself that's been wearing the full gear here. And the local Mexican men don't tend to have so much gear just because of the climate, but also the culture. And
And it's fucking expensive also.
it is expensive, and the thing is, I love the gear, but you don't have to have the gear to be in the leather community,
Totally.
and wearing the gear doesn't make you part of it. If you're interested in this as a fetish, you get turned on by the leather, then you're part of the community. You know?
I call them the intro kingster.
Yeah, yeah.
The gear is inside.
Yeah. But if you know, you have interest in the kink, in the bondage or the impact play or water sports or whatever it is, that's all part of the leather community, and you know, you're part of it if that's your interest. The community really is more about the fellowship and the interaction, the brotherhood between the other people here. And you can go to a leather bar, and you know, if you're wearing jeans and a T-shirt, then that can be perfectly fine. People ask, you know, I don't have anything to wear to the fetish night or to the leather social. I'm like, just come as you are. and you don't need it. And you can pick things up. You know, essential things. I recommend boots. Get yourself some nice black boots, black belt, leather belt, and a harness. That will get you
Can be
a long
second
way.
hand. That's
Yeah.
why how you start.
Absolutely. And you know, there are places here that you can get uh, harnesses in particular.
Sure, yes.
Around, and
There's Certain Sun, there's Playroom,
yeah.
there's here at Studs. We
Yes.
have some too.
Yes.
So you can get yourself, and there's a lot of little store that you can get. Baby, you are in a few weeks going in probably one of the biggest challenge of you for your life. You are representing Studs and all Mexico for IML, International Mr. Leather.
Yes.
How are you feeling to have the Mexico weight on your shoulder?
It's exciting.
I love
and
to tease you on
so,
that.
yeah. um, it is exciting. It is humbling with this. I winning this title of Mr. Leather Vallarta qualified me to be able to go to IML. And there are, I think, 3 titles in Mexico. There's Mr. Leather Mexico,
Yes.
and then
Mr. Leather Monterrey.
Mr. Leather Monterrey.
And now Mr. Leather Vallarta.
Right. And those are the titles that are qualifying to go to International Mr. Leather. And unfortunately, the other title holders from Monterrey and Mexico City are not able to go.
Mhm.
And so it turns out that I'm the one. A couple of weeks ago, I went to Mexico City and I met with 24 of the leaders in the
Yes.
leather and pup and rubber community there. I met with people that are the founders of La Guardia
Yes.
organization, and also with the Leather Club of Mexico, which is the longest existing leather club in Latin America. They were
Mhm.
formed
Yeah.
in 1993. And we all met, and they kind of went around the table, and they all embraced me and said that they were proud of me, and that I was representing not just Studs and not just Vallarta, but representing all of Mexico.
Because we have to understand also that, and sorry, I don't want to be like rude, or I love to be rude, but not in this. But you're white as milk,
Yes, yes.
and you're an expat,
Yeah.
like I am. And sometimes, there's a lot of problem with cultural appropriation, or since you're not Mexican, from Mexico, people were talking, oh, well, how can you represent that and all that? And what I loved about it, it's like, it's not about who you represent, it's how you represent it. Because you were received by Master Ursus and
Yes.
Angie and all the team, because they gave me so much email after that on like how you were adorable and like nervous but great. And you have the backup of title older, and
Yeah.
I would say this is a big older because you're the first, but those guys have been there for years.
Yes.
And you have all the Mexican behind your back saying, we believe in you, you can do it. So like that, if there's comments, you have all the community behind you. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was a question that I was asked during the competition at Leather Fever. How do I deal with conflict?
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, what kind of conflict? And they kind of said, well, you have a Mexican title, and I am, el hombre más blanco en Puerto Vallarta.
See, pero
So-
Studs is welcoming everyone. So
Yes,
you're
yeah.
it's like
But I'm here to serve, and that was part of what I told the people in Mexico City,
Mhm.
and asked them, please let me know what I can do. And again, they said that they were embracing me and welcoming me. There were, in addition to those 2 groups, there were probably 6 or 7 current title holders that were there.
Puppy
And,
Mexico.
Puppy Mexico,
also.
Mr. Mexico was there, and Angie.
Angie, she's the Rubber Mexico
Yes, yeah.
2026.
Yeah.
And she's a woman,
Yeah.
cis woman.
Yes.
And that's amazing because now we are having not just men in the competition, it's more open to non binary, trans people, and also some competition with women, you know. It's like, it's amazing.
But I have approached this trying to be sensitive about the you know, the fact that
The
I
elephant
was
in the
born
room.
I was born in the United States and things. But this is not something that I have claimed for myself. This is something that I feel was gifted to me by the leadership of the leather and kink community in Mexico.
And this is big because you know they are proud people. I know not all of them, but a big chunk of them. And I know Master Ursus and Angie, and they are, if they don't want it, they will tell it to your face. Like, Angie,
Yeah.
I love you, my girl. But yes, but they are all behind you. And that's what they told me. They said, you know what? We don't care about the color of the skin because that's what we are bringing. He represent Mexico and he represent leather community. So we don't care. He is good. He is have that in his heart and he embody it. So for them, they were like, "Oh, todo bien." It's like everything is fun.
Yeah. This is my home. Mexico is my home, and
Yeah.
you know, I don't expect to ever go back to the United States to live,
Mhm.
and you know, so it's just natural for me to do this. And I want to throw out to Master Ursus. You have been wonderful. He has helped me out so much. He took
It's a
me
doll.
all around Mexico City trying to find new gear. Something that I wanted in at IML, I wanted to have leather gear that was hecho en Mexico,
Mhm.
you know, that was
See?
made here. And so he took me to Sledom and to
Yes.
Domina, and we got some really great
Hi
gear.
to them.
Yeah.
Hola.
Uh, and that was very helpful. He has been great. I have some custom gear that I have
Yes.
ordered, and he's been super helpful, helping me make sure that orders are going through successfully. So I really, you know, thank you so much. I very much appreciate the
I
help.
know. I'm his mistress. That's what he say. He always said, "I'm the most beautiful creature." Like, thank you, Master Ursus. We love you. Mi amor, I have a little game for you. Thank you so much for being here. This was amazing. I have a little game for you. I call that my 12 sip of tea.
Okay.
So it's 12 rapid question. There's no good or bad answer. Just answer like without thinking like I would do. All right. First one. In 3 words, describe yourself.
Uh, and now I'm thinking. Uh,
3 words.
Excited to serve.
That's 3 words. Perfect. Favorite letter gear item.
My Leather Pride jockstrap that I have from Sladon.
Nice. Best guilty pleasure.
My best guilty pleasure.
Doesn't need to be king. It could be king.
Um,
Or he's waiting for you in your DM, maybe.
please do. I am a bit of a gamer,
Okay.
and every once in a while, I like to take a day off and just play my computer games.
And you're also Dungeon and Dragon Master.
Yeah, so a couple of different kinds of dungeon master there. So in addition to the leather, I do run a Dungeons and Dragons game.
Mhm.
I've been playing D&D since 1979.
Wow.
I have dice that are older than anyone else that I play with. So that is fun.
Sorry, my dice are older than you. Best gem in PV for you. Could be a restaurant, a bar, or something, an attraction.
I just, it's a little cliched, but I like walking along the Malecon.
Yeah.
And I grew up in the Puget Sound area in Washington State, and being close to the water is
Yes.
important to me. And so taking that walk, particularly this time of year, every once in a while you see the whales going by, and that's just beautiful.
Excellent. They're leaving now because
Yeah.
it's starting to get hot.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your color and key What's your Anki code color?
Did I bring that? I did bring that.
We're gonna talk about Anki code. If you don't know what is it, we're gonna have a full podcast on that.
Yeah, so black for heavy S&M, blue for anal, and green, hunter green for a daddy. So these are my main ones that I fly.
That's your list.
Yeah.
We love it. We're gonna have because we're gonna talk about it, but we're gonna have more info on this. Okay, something that you learned about yourself during your title year. Well, like so far because you're not done yet, but it's like
Um, I have learned that I kind of have a second personality.
okay.
Typically, when I go to a bar or something, I tend to be quiet and very observational and things. And when I'm doing an event, then that introvert doesn't work so well. So
Mhm.
I have to let out this other side of myself, and I like him. He's a good guy.
That's good. Best quality, worst flaws.
um, my worst flaws can be overthinking.
Okay.
I was a data analyst professionally, and my tendency is to just break
Oh,
everything
that's
down.
the burn smell we just smelled.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
all of that.
I was thinking it was barbecue.
Yeah. So that's it. My best quality, I think. Somebody told me that I was just recently that I was both dominant and compassionate, and that they found that combination to be very appealing.
It is. It is really rare, but it is really compelling for sure. Best food, worst food.
Uh, best food, honestly, the al pastor tacos in Mexico City. I was amazed when I had them. And the worst, which liver and onions.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
I respect. I don't kink shame.
No.
I don't kink shame. What's your best mama advice in your life?
um, Take a chance. Um, I've had a lot of people tell me that they're afraid to approach somebody in a club that they might be interested in, and I encourage people just to go and do it. What's the worst thing that can happen is they can say no. Maybe they'll be a jerk about it, and you'll survive.
Yeah.
And the answer is always no if we don't ask.
For sure. What's going to be written on your tombstone?
Um,
It's not a word. It's just going to be a flood sound.
Yeah.
Whip.
Argue for your limitations, and sure enough, they're yours.
Ooh, we love that. Best words of advice you can give to your young Keith.
Stay out of the church. um, yeah, that is a whole
Perfect.
story there. We'll just
Yes.
leave it at that.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you so much, mi amor, to being here. But we have a little announcement to do because this was just our first podcast together. Because you are so great, we're gonna do a few podcasts, but educational ones.
Excellent.
So we're gonna do some on flogging. We're gonna on impact play.
Yeah.
We're gonna. That's why I was talking about the Anki code. We're gonna have a full podcast on the collar and how to wear it and all that. So Daddy Keith is gonna be also your teacher, Master Daddy Keith, and we're gonna have someone to be the student. I'm not. I'm the mistress. But we're gonna find. If you're interested, send a DM. We'll put all this info down after the video. But my last question for you? What's Daddy Keith next mission in Vallarta?
It's continuing to support the community here. This is after I come back from IML.
Let's hope we win.
Yeah, that I would love that. The next bit is trying to find new contestants for Leather Fever for this November.
November 19 to 22. Just follow our website, studs.com, and everything you're going to be posted 19 to 22 November.
I'm looking particularly for local Mexicans that are interested, because I don't want this just to become an expat
No.
event.
Open to
And
everyone.
the thing is, if you don't have gear, that's okay. if you're interested, if you have the fetish, if you like the kink, whatever it is, I would be very happy to mentor anybody that is curious about this, and help get somebody ready to be a contestant for Leather Fever.
You
for
know
next
that
year.
now you're gonna need days to open your DM, right?
That's
It's gonna be
excellent.
flooded.
Excellent.
Probably like your pants and shirt now with the heat. Well, mi amor, this was amazing. Thank you so much to
Thank
being
you.
here. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. We're gonna have our first educational, so stay tuned. Follow us on our social media. Also, we're gonna tell you when the beautiful Daddy Keith. Good luck in
Thank you.
IML.
Thank you.
In the theater, they said break a leg, but please don't do it. But just to be nominated, just to participate there, representing Mexico in my heart, you're the winner. So thank you so much, Myanmar, to be part of this. If you want to follow Daddy Keith, we'll put all his info in his Instagram and everything. He's old enough to have Facebook and MSN. Uh, but we'll see you next week with another Tea Time with Tia Gloria, with another beautiful guest and some other tea spilling. Hasta pronto, mi amor.